So, it's crazy, right? So, nobody cares about the economy, um, foreign policy, education. Nobody cares about being able to live, you know, because, the price of living is through the roof. Um, Nobody cares about much of anything, right? But they're bringing all the thoughts out, you know, because everybody cares about abortion and, you know, the right to kill kids, right? Seems to be the only thing everybody care about. We're gonna make it about a woman's right to choose. Okay, so the only choice you're worried about is being able to kill your kids. You feel me? What you've been able to do forever. You know what I mean? A man has no say in nothing. You know, men want babies. Um, if they want their child, he has no say so if she decides to go and, you know, abort that. But if he doesn't want the child and she decides to keep that, you know, a bitch try to shame you for not wanting anything to do with that child. You can't have it both ways, right? If you don't want no child and you can just go and abort that, no matter what I say. If you want the child and I don't, then if I don't want it, I don't motherfucking want it. You feel me? It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So you shouldn't be able to get mad about that because it seems to be that that's the only thing y'all care about, right? So they bringing all the thoughts out. They had Cardi B out there yesterday, championing. They had Beyonce out. They had Meg out twerking. Um, Shit, they even had Michelle Obama. You feel me? Then you got Barack Obama, trying to shame niggas and shit, like trying to come out there like he's somebody daddy or something. Like, you're this is for the brothers. You know what I mean? Listen, man. One, the problem with Kamala, Kamala or whatever, it's not that she's a woman. It's that she's a terrible candidate, and that showed 4 years ago when she was running for president. She's just a terrible candidate. Right? She's not a likable person. Um, she's been in the White House now for 4 years under Biden's leadership. Under her and Biden, because like she said, she was a part of all major decisions that had impact. And if you see how we living, you see the impact of those decisions. So a lot of this is just common sense shit, right? But as you look around, you realize that there's not a lot of common sense here in the States, because all you have to do is all you have to do to trump what's going on when you start talking about the economy, foreign policy, um, First and Second Amendment, you know, just your civil liberties. All you have to do is look at this administration and everything that they stand for and everything that they're trying to do. Um, the attack on the nuclear family, the push towards transgenderism and the alternative lifestyle of homosexuality, whatever like that. You push that more than you push family. You push abortion more than you push sexual discipline and sexual education, right? So it seems to me that you care more about, you don't care more about like accountability and responsibility. You care more about, just, I guess, people being sexually irresponsible and just running wild and just doing whatever dumb shit they want to do. And then instead of taking responsibility for your lifestyle and your choices, you want to be able to just use Planned Parenthood, which is crazy that they call it Planned Parenthood. You just want to use Planned Parenthood as your contraceptive, I guess, right? No birth control, no rubbers. They make rubbers both ways, male and female condoms. Birth control pills. You get Depo shots. You got something else. I can't think of what it's called right now, but you know, there's a lot of ways not to end up with an unwanted pregnancy. You know what I mean? But the fact that the Democrat Party is focused on abortion with everything that we have going on in the world says a lot. And the fact that they can get Americans riled up to throw everything else, all the other major issues to the side, and let's just focus on abortion. It's crazy. Even though we all know Roe v. Wade was passed and based on a lie. But the more you look at, or the more you pay attention to the way our country is going and the direction that the media, because the media is complicit in a lot of misinformation, right, when it comes to everything. Especially if you just think about a couple of years ago with the COVID vaccine and all the shit that came behind that, the lies spread behind that. You know, we don't even talk about like all the damage that has done. All the people that died behind that, all the people that's dying behind that, or nothing, right? Because we want to wait 75 years before we're able to tell you what's in something that we're pushing on you and that we're making mandatory for you to get to keep your way of living. And when you think about people keeping their way of living, you have to think about all the people that lost their jobs behind the lie, right? When we talk about we have a shortage of teachers, a shortage of bus drivers, a shortage of this and that, a lot of people don't want to work. You got to understand that a lot of people was working and then they were laid off, fired from their jobs because they refused to put something that was unproven into their body. So when you say, "Oh, my body, my choice," but when it comes to vaccine mandates, "Oh, my body, my choice" is not important, right? It's my body, my choice. If I don't want to put something in my body that's unproven, I should be able to do that. No, 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 no. My body, my choice only seems to work one way, and that's when it's time to abort. Am I lying? But anyway, um, just take a look at the two candidates and see what they're talking about. Um, One is focused on depopulation and control, and one is an America First candidate, right? Because our country is overrun with illegals. You can call them whatever you want to. We call them the migrants now. Okay, cool. But it's overrun with that, right? And this country seems to cater more to migrants than it does to American citizens. That's why in America, you damn near have to be trilingual to have employment. because uh, people come to this country, right? It's easy for them to get positions um, because they got a reputation of working hard over Americans because Americans have a reputation of being lazy, which is not the case. Americans just want to get paid a fair amount for their services, for their labor. You know, if I'm going to spend 40 to 60 hours somewhere, I want to get paid a livable wage to do it. People seem to frown upon you wanting to be able to live comfortable. People seem to frown upon the fact that you don't want to live check to check. People seem to frown upon the fact that you don't want to leave a job and go to another one because that one job doesn't pay you enough to sustain your lifestyle, even if your lifestyle is pretty average. You then have to be a millionaire to live comfortable, to do things that you used to be able to do regularly a couple years ago. Because now you can't seem to do anything. I mean, the price of everything is so fucking high. I can just go to the grocery store, spend $300, and I don't even need a grocery cart. If you I would probably leave out that bitch like 4 bags. Man. And it's not even funny. It's just funny the fact that people don't seem to understand where we are right now. It's like people don't even care about that. So all we got to do is keep on bringing out the celebrities, you know, and people gonna be like, yeah, fuck everything else. This person said this. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But speaking of celebrities, um, and speaking of celebrities, it's crazy to me that because I know that they're getting paid for their endorsement. You're getting paid for this shit. I know that. On the internet, doing all this talking, um, all this pandering and shit. I know this nigga getting paid. You're getting paid for this shit. Because the shit the nigga be saying don't even make no sense. You feel me? And you'll think a nigga was smarter than that. And this nigga, you gonna wake up with the white man over the black woman and, bruh, shut your ass up. Shut your ass up, nigga. That's one, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And two, she's not black. She's not even a black American. So she can't relate to black American culture or what it's like to grow up here. Um, just because she grew up or her family, her mother, placed her around some black people. You know what I mean? Um, Shit. Just think about it this way. Because Obama ain't no different, right? But people was excited about Obama because you never thought a black man would have a chance. But as you look back, you see that a lot of the things that were said about Obama was actually facts, right? And then you got Michelle, and you realize that maybe there is something there. Obama with his gay agenda. Then you got Biden, who's just fuck it, a racist, of course. And um, if I'm going to go on, if I'm going to believe what his daughter said, and a pedophile too, right? Now I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, just think about all this shit, man. It's just shit crazy, man. But you can't go on the word of a celebrity, though. You just got to make your own decision. You want to go on the word of celebrities, then you got to see celebrity track records. You feel me? And they character and the people that they surround themselves with. Then that brings you to Epstein and his list of celebrities that he hung out with, and that brings you to Diddy and now his list of celebrities that he hung out with when it comes to the freak offs and all that shit like that. You know, the only difference between Diddy and Epstein is that Epstein, I guess, was dealing with children, and Diddy was dealing with a lot of bisexual, homosexual, I guess, pansexual, whatever activity. You feel me? He didn't seem to discriminate, you know, and I guess drugs and shit. You feel me? It's funny to me because everybody already knew what was going on in that industry because you got a lot of people coming out talking about it now. Um, but people been saying stuff about it, but in a joking way. People knew that you was getting drugged and recorded. People knew this already, right? When you think of stories you hear about Jay-Z and Foxy Brown and Rihanna, you feel me? The whole Rihanna Chris Brown thing, how she just like ruined his career or tried to ruin his career because he caught her doing something they said, gave him something they said. Her whole relationship with Jay-Z, however that went, whatever. But, you know, you Meg the Stallion coming out and letting you know that she actually did have a relationship with Tory Lanez. And, you know, maybe a lot of the other shit that she said was a lie too. Um, but my thing is, when it comes to these bitches, you feel me? Bitches, nigga, just the way the media is set up, you feel me? They just believe everything that a woman say. You can't believe everything nobody say. You know what I'm saying? And my, what I know, a lot of these bitches be lying, boy. Bitches be lying, boy. You hear me? So, I mean, goddamn. I mean, shit, look at your boy Brady situation. Damn, bitch rich as hell and still wanted to. You feel me? Bitch got mad because the nigga went leave his career. You feel me? He ended up retiring anyway when he was done, but he didn't do it when she wanted him to. So she started fucking the karate man and shit, and she was on TV crying and shit. Bitch, this bitch on TV crying the whole time. You fucking the karate dude. Oh, man, bitch don't have no shame, man. Bitch don't have no shame. Bitch don't care about nothing. You feel me? So, bitch gotta understand that when you fucking with these hoes and you investing a lot of time in them, sometimes they don't be who you think they is, and you don't really find out until like later, right? And most of the time, a bitch just feel like it's what they want. I hear this shit all the time. Happy wife, happy life. You feel me? And I guess that worked for a lot of people, but you understand why a lot of men end up dead early, dying early. You feel me? Because, like I said, they just collapse into themselves. They so stressed. You know, their dreams aren't fulfilled. What they want out of life isn't fulfilled because it's all pushed down so the woman can be happy. Because I realized that a lot of women don't change nothing when they get in relationships. They whatever it is that they've been doing is what they do, and whatever it is, the personality they have, you know, the whatever, man. They don't really have to be. They don't really have to bring a lot into a relationship. Um, if you determine to be with that woman, you would have to change and be the man that she thinks you're supposed to be. And I feel like that's stupid, but that's me. You feel me? Uh, I don't buy that when in a relationship that you're supposed to be that. How am I gonna put this? That my job is to make sure that you're happy, even if I'm not. Um, I think that's fucking stupid. I think if you live that way, you're not living a life, a full life. So I wouldn't do that. But yeah, it just a lot of shit going on in the world, and I feel like the only thing people seem to be focused on when it comes to our politics and the way that we live in is the fact that um, these bitches just want to be able to abort, and that's crazy. Um, so yeah, it's crazy.